Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Thank you all so much for joining us for today's virtual coffee break. We're going to go on ahead and get started now. For those of you who are new to this, I see a lot of new names here in the attendee list. We're going to go over just a few housekeeping tips and reminders. If you have questions, please feel free to type them in the chat or the Q&A window at any time during the presentation. I'll answer and address as we're going through it. We'll have some time at the end, and then for anything else, feel free to contact me at sales@tristaterestores.com. We are recording today's presentation, and links to view the PDF and the video will be shared with you guys tomorrow morning. For everything else, visit our YouTube channel at Tri-State Restores for our complete coffee break archive. These are also on our website at tristaterestores.com. 10 lucky attendees today will receive a $5 Starbucks gift card. Stay to the end to find out how. After the coffee break, please complete the post-event survey to share what topics you'd like us to cover in the next coffee break, October 29th. And if you like this presentation, we sincerely hope you do. Please be inclined to share a review of the presentation and Tri-State Restorations on Google. You get a chance to win a $25 Amazon gift card for your time, but this is subject to Google's terms and conditions. Stay to the end. One lucky attendee is going to walk away today with the disaster prep kit worth over $100. So who we are, and give me 1 second, let me hit refresh on this because it looks like we're timing out a little bit because my images aren't showing up. There we go. Let's try this again. Awesome. So who we are Tri-State Restorations. We're a family-owned, locally operated, established firm here in the Washington metropolitan area. We specialize in mitigation, remediation, removal, cleanup, and restoration efforts for large and small water, fire, mold, biohazard, lead, and odor-caused damages. Our company's mission is turning disaster into peace of mind because we're committed to easing the burden of handling your property disaster through providing you with the best customer experience and services possible. Good morning, everybody. And just here's another look at our services. We can help with water extraction, mitigation, and restoration efforts, mold and lead remediation, asbestos inspection and sampling, fire and smoke restoration and odor control, biohazard trauma cleaning and disinfection, and sewage extraction, mitigation, disinfection, and cleanup. All of our employees are infectious disease control certified and water restoration technician certified. We have 2 licensed asbestos inspectors on staff, and we hold our MHIC and DC Class A reconstruction licenses. We belong to a number of wonderful organizations, but I'll give a shout out to the Property Management Association and the Community Associations Institute and AOBA. So let's get into it, guys. September is National Preparedness Month, and each year we do a kind of different take on this presentation. The goal is to make sure that you are proactively preparing for disaster versus reactively suffering through it. National Preparedness Month is a great time to take small steps to make a big difference in being prepared. Getting yourself and your property ready for an emergency means you're prepared for natural disasters like wildfires, flash flooding, hurricanes, and much more. National Preparedness Month is an observance in each September to raise awareness about the importance of preparing for disasters and emergencies that could happen at any time. This year's theme is Preparedness Starts at Home. The 2025 theme focuses on getting back to the essentials of preparedness. You can learn more about National Preparedness Month and this year's theme at ready.gov, also through the HHS website for National Preparedness Month.
Aloha nui, I'm Summer Silva, the Cultural Protocol Task Force Lead on Maui. There are many easy steps you can take today to keep yourself and your loved ones safe when a disaster strikes. 1, know your risk. Know what hazards are most likely to happen in your community. Floods and home fires can happen anywhere, but hurricanes and earthquakes are more common in certain parts of the country. 2, know how to protect yourself and the people you love. Capture your contact information and know who you are going to contact in an emergency and who will contact you. Know how to get in touch with loved ones during and after a disaster. And 3, encourage your family, friends, and neighbors to also get prepared today. Sharing these tips with friends and family will help us prepare together. Visit ready.gov for more info. Mahalo.
All right, so here are 6 key actions you can take to prepare for any disaster. First up is know your risk. Know what disasters could affect your local area, which could call for an evacuation and when to shelter in place, and plan for what you need to do in both cases. This helps you figure out what you need to do to stay safe. Today we'll learn about some of the DMV area's most common disasters and a couple of slides later on. But just some good tips here. Keep an NOAA weather radio, tune to your local emergency station, and monitor TV and other radio stations for warnings about severe weather in your area. You can also go to weather.gov/NWR for more information. We also suggest downloading the FEMA app to get weather alerts from the National Weather Service for up to 5 different locations anywhere in the US. And then here's just how to get the app. So FEMA's whole campaign this year is "It's scary simple to stay safe." Again, think about what you'll need and how the people in your social circles can help each other. A great place to start is by knowing what the risks are and make a plan. So not only are you planning for you and your family, you're preparing your home. You're going to want to inspect and secure your home before a disaster strikes. Check your insurance cover to make sure you have the coverage you need when it counts most. Protect your important documents, take inventory of belongings, and know who to call. Preparing your family, you're going to create a household emergency kit. We're going to get into that a little bit later with what actually goes inside that kit. And then you're going to practice your plan with your family to ensure everybody knows 2 safe exits and everybody has clear expectations on what to do in the event of an emergency. Here's just 12 ways to prepare: signing up for alerts, making a plan, save for a rainy day, practice emergency drills, test family communication plan, safeguard documents, plan with neighbors, make your home safer, know evacuation routes, assemble or update supplies, get involved in your local community, and document and insure your property. All right, building an emergency supply kit. So in essence, you want to make sure you have enough food, water, and medicine to help you stay safe and comfortable until help can arrive. Having what you need can also prevent injury and damage to your home. Build a go bag with all the essentials you might need so you don't need to scramble in an evacuation situation. Use these kits during emergency situations and power outages. Today's virtual coffee break raffle winner will be receiving a tri-state custom kit. Here's a little picture of it down here. What you want to include: water, snacks, flashlights, batteries, and important information related to your community, as the evacuation route, maps, emergency phone numbers, and more. Gather important documents like insurance policies, health cards, and birth certificates in a waterproof container, and make sure that's easily accessible as well.
Hey everybody, Stephanie with the American Red Cross here, and right now I'm building my emergency kit, and I want to show you what I'm putting in it so that you can build one at home too. So let's start off with the first aid kit, very important. Got some Band-Aids, got some gauze, anything you need to help if you get an injury or if one of your family members get one. You'll want drinking water too, so you can get some of these emergency packs or you can get bottled water. Here's one version of it. You could also get one of these gallon containers to fill up with water as well. Ziploc baggie with all the important documents that you do not want to get wet in case there is some flooding or some severe rain. So very important to have that as well. emergency blanket in case you get cold and need to keep warm. We are experiencing the coronavirus pandemic, so it's very important for you guys to just have gloves in your kit, some masks for you and your family members, hand sanitizer. And you'll want to keep up to date with your local news. So this is a hand cranked radio, also doubles up as a flashlight. So super helpful 2-in-1 deal right here. We've got the emergency poncho in case it gets rainy. You don't want to get wet. Great to have these in your emergency kit. It says to disinfect, to clean surface areas. So keep that with your hand sanitizer. Got some tape just in case. And we always got to have our phones charged, right? So you want to make sure you get a battery pack, some extra chargers to keep those phones charged in case you need them in case of an emergency. And obviously you want some non-perishable food items. So here we've got some cans, got some peanut butter, some granola bars, in case you get hungry and you're not able to get some food. So this is my emergency kit. If you can build yours too.
All right, and as many of you guys know, this is always an interactive presentation, so now it's mini quiz time. Everybody share in the chat one thing you would pack in your emergency kit, please. I think we've given you guys all a lot of great ideas. Yep, batteries, granola bars, cat food and health docs. Awesome, Amy. See, you're thinking outside the box for all of your extended family members. Love that. Matches, food, bandages, flashlight, meds, Kindle for kids' entertainment. Yes, we have to keep the kids occupied, especially when there's no power. Chocolate, Chris, I like the way you think. Awesome. So the other part of this is getting involved in your community. So emergencies can happen fast, and emergency responders aren't always nearby, or it's not accessible. Maybe you're in a flood zone and there's absolutely no way for emergency responders to even get to you, right? So you may be able to help save a life by taking simple actions immediately. You can learn these steps when you take a first aid class through many organizations in your community. If you want to do even more, I have some pro tips here for you. You can join our Create a Community Emergency Response Team program and get trained on basic disaster response skills such as fire safety, light search and rescue, team organization, and disaster medical operations. You can also take a free online independent study course through FEMA's Emergency Management Institute. Or you can take a local CPR course through the American Red Cross to learn more about how to help your community become more prepared. Combat Action Tourniquet. Oh my gosh. I guess that's definitely a flex for your go bag. Protect. Knowing when and how to protect yourself, your loved ones, and your property during a disaster can make all the difference. Receiving real-time weather and emergency alerts from the National Weather Service for up to 5 locations nationwide is so helpful. You can plug in your work address, you can plug in your home address, you can plug in your parents' address, you can monitor all of these individually. Preparing your property for severe weather and natural disasters, make sure we're inspecting and maintaining roofs, gutters, drainage systems. We're stocking up on emergency supplies and reviewing your family plan. And you're protecting critical systems with surge protection and backup power. If anybody caught the power outage presentation we did earlier this year, there's some great nuggets in there for what to do when the power goes out. And then recovery. Find out if your location is eligible for FEMA assistance, find disaster recovery center locations, and get answers to your most pressing questions. Instantly connect with FEMA's disaster resources so you can find the help you need when you need it most. Visit ready.gov for some resources and contact Tri-State Restorations for assistance with recovery. We're available live 24/7. So let's get into types of disasters and how to prepare. I just picked out the majority of these are ones that we typically might see in the DMV area, with the exception of earthquakes. We're going to touch on those a little bit. Hurricanes. We're still in a hurricane season through November. Hurricanes bring destructive winds, flooding rains, and storm surges that can cause major damage to homes and businesses. Preparing your property before the storm is the best way to minimize risk and protect your investment. So here's some red flags and prevention tips for flooding risk. Elevate valuables, move items off the floor, and check your sub pumps. For wind damages, secure outdoor furniture, board up windows, and reinforce your doors. Falling trees and branches, you're going to want to trim limbs and clear debris around your property. Power outages, make sure all devices are charged, you're testing your generators, and you're stocking up on flashlights and batteries, and you've got your go bag ready. And also another nugget here, check your policy. Ensure your homeowner's policy has the coverage you need when you need it most. There are tons of local agents on this call. Definitely find yourself a local resource and make sure you're protected when you need it. Lost power due to the storm. If you're left without power, here's 3 tips to follow. Unplug electronics to avoid damage from electrical surges. Keep refrigerator and freezer doors closed. That helps lock in the cold. And use generators only. Let's get into winter storms. It's right around the corner, guys. We're getting our first touches of real fall weather here, but before we know it, it's gonna be cold. Stay safe and protect your property by winterizing ahead of time, monitoring conditions and addressing risks before they cause costly damage. Frozen pipes are a huge red flag. You want to make sure you're insulating exposed plumbing, you're letting faucets drip during extreme cold, clear snow and ice buildup to prevent leaks or collapse from your roof. Keep backup heat sources and check generators in advance of a power outage. Listen to local officials either through the NOAA radio system, the FEMA app, the news on the television. Have emergency plans in place at home, work, and in the car. Stay off the road during and after a winter storm if you can. Use carbon monoxide alarms, especially if using alternate heating devices. And use heating devices safely. Never plug a heating device into an extension cord or power strip.
When the sky turns gray, rain becomes ice, and temperatures continue to drop, you'll ask yourself, how prepared or unprepared are you? Did you winterize your home? Remove the leaves from the gutters? Insulate and caulk so you're less likely to shutter? Does everyone in the family know the winter weather plan? What to do, where to stay, and how to get in touch? Are your emergency kits ready? Is your radio on? Get prepared, make a plan, and figure out how you're going to stay safe and warm.
Property fires. Especially in the wintertime, these are so much more prevalent. So we need to be careful and check out for red flags. Fire can spread in seconds. Knowing how to act fast, how to use an extinguisher can save lives and property. For a deeper dive, watch our virtual coffee break episode on YouTube all about fire extinguisher types and proper uses. We also do a couple of deep dives into fire restoration. So from start to finish, you get a quick glimpse into what that process looks like. Preparing for a property fire, make sure you're installing and regularly testing smoke alarms. Daylight savings is around the corner, November 2nd. So I want everybody to promise me they're going to change their smoke alarm batteries and make sure they're functional, okay? We want to stay safe. Keep fire extinguishers accessible and learn the pass method. Pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. Create and practice an emergency evacuation plan. Keep exits clear and ensure everyone knows 2 ways out. Severe weather preparedness. Severe weather events like heavy rain, windstorms, hurricanes, and snow can cause significant damage to homes and businesses. Preparing your property ahead of time helps minimize the risks and protect what matters most. Simple steps like inspecting your roof and gutters, securing outdoor items, trimming trees, and stocking emergency supplies can help make a big difference when disaster strikes. So how we prepare, create a communications plan with your family before severe weather hits. Also important for anybody in an office or community setting for you guys to have an action plan there as well. Have emergency supplies in place at home, at work, and in the car. Listen to local officials, check your insurance policies to ensure you have coverage, and evacuate if advised by local authorities. Don't hesitate to evacuate. If you're given an evacuation order, it means you need to get out. Find your local center, make your way to it safely, and ensure that you are staying safe in the event of an emergency.
When the clouds form, the rain pours, and water is all around, you'll ask yourself, how prepared or unprepared are you? Did you raise your utilities, appliances, and such? Install a sump pump. Clean the drains, just in case it decides to rain. Do you know your risks? Have you checked the local plans? You should cover your property with a flood insurance policy. Is your emergency supply kit packed? Is your family prepared? Do they know what to do, where to go, and how to stay safe? Because when the water starts to rise, you must act quickly and be wise. Turn on your radio, listen for updates, and if authorities tell you to go, hurry up and do so. Get to safe ground, go as high as you can, do what you need to do, but don't put yourself in harm's way. Just inches of water can sweep you away. Once the water is gone, move carefully. Be on the lookout for dangers you can't see, animals, debris, and electricity. Do not go home until you hear the all clear. Now, when you get home, be aware. Not everything is as safe as it may appear. So before the clouds form, the rain pours, and water is all around, get prepared. Make a plan and keep yourself dry. Get started today. Go to ready.gov/prepare.
Right. Now, what do you do if you're stuck on the road? This is probably the most unfortunate thing that can happen to you during severe weather, but let's try to be prepared as best as possible. Never drive through standing water. Turn around if possible. If trapped, abandon your vehicle and move to higher ground safely. Remember, turn around, don't drown. During tornadoes, do not stay in your car under an overpass. If no shelter is nearby, lie flat in a low area or a ditch and cover your head. During a hurricane or high wind situation, you want to avoid driving if possible. If caught, pull over safely. Keep your seatbelt on and stay inside your vehicle away from trees and power lines. And then just a general tip, keep an emergency kit with water, food, a blanket, flashlight, and first aid kit in your car at all times. You never know when you're going to need it.
If for some reason you get stuck on the road, make sure you're prepared. Know what to do if this happens to you. After the storm has passed and the roads are safe, restock your emergency kits. Another storm could be on its way, so before the sky turns gray, rain becomes ice, and temperatures continue to drop, get prepared, make a plan, and figure out how you're going to stay safe and warm.
All right, and earthquakes. Earthquakes can happen anytime, anywhere. The best time to prepare for an earthquake is before it happens. While earthquakes aren't common in the DC region, they still happen and cause serious damages. On August 23rd, 2011, a rare 5.8 magnitude quake shook DC, cracking the National Cathedral and reminding us that no area is completely risk-free. To prepare, secure heavy furniture, no safe spots in each room under sturdy tables or against interior walls, and practice drop, cover, and hold on. Even small steps can make a big difference in protecting your property and loved ones when the unexpected occurs.
It was a warm, beautiful day. And the excitement in the air was the battle of the Bay between the two baseball teams, the Giants and the A's. My family was sitting down to dinner with the television on to watch the World Series game. And then the earthquake started. Television blacked out. There was noise everywhere. All of a sudden, the ground was shaking. The walls were shaking. It's like being on an ocean liner that's hit a huge wave, a storm at sea.
The fire in Oakland is a major fire, a large fire, nearly half a block long. Bay Bridge has been.
It was the scariest thing I'd ever been through. And I think the worst thing about it was not knowing what to do after.
In 1989, when Loma Prieta earthquake hit, our department went to Los Angeles to get the CERT curriculum, the Community Emergency Response Team program. Our primary goal is to make sure that the residents that live here are ready for anything.
All right. Let's get into some proactive approaches here. We're going to talk about performing biannual property inspections because it's always best to be proactive rather than reactive when it comes to property damage. A number of losses can be prevented by maintaining your property's appliances and inspecting for common red flags by performing these biannual inspections. Things to check. You want to look for your shutoff valves, know where they are and how to use them. Inspect your hot water heater, inspect your roofing and gutter system. Look at your property grading and surrounding grounds to ensure water is properly flowing away from the dwelling. Foundation inspection, look for signs of degradation and get these repaired before the winter storms roll in. Smoke and CO2 alarms, make sure they're functional and replace your battery in 2 weeks on November 2nd. Biannual property inspections, test your fire alarms and emergency shutoff valves. My pro tip here is hang emergency contact information on applicable valves and appliances so that anyone assisting with an emergency knows who to call. We can assist with your water shutoff valve inspections and tagging. Just give us a call. Check to be sure your property has clearly labeled fire escape routes and procedures. Our pro tip here is to host a biannual household and or community fire drill. If you or your community has a pool, perform an annual pool inspection and ensure safety signage is clearly visible for residents both young and old. Inspect your boiler and hot water heaters, especially those 10 years old and older. Our referring plumbers say hot water heaters no longer have the 30-year lifespan that they used to, and an aging hot water heater is like a ticking time bomb. Look for rusting around the bottom, loose pipes, and water spots as red flags. Look for grading issues along your property perimeter. Next time it rains, step outside and inspect the flow of rainwater. You want water to travel away from the property and towards a centralized drain or rainwater collection area. If you see pooling or puddles, this is a red flag. Inspect your HVAC unit and change the air filters every 3 months. Look for signs of exterior moisture, leaks, rust, and mold. If you smell a musty odor around your HVAC unit, this is a red flag. Inspect your refrigerator and dishwasher water lines. Look for signs of degradation and pinhole leaks. Our pro tip here is to set a calendar reminder for your appliance checkups. Keep all warranty and manufacturer information in a centralized and easy to access location in case of an emergency. Inspect sprinkler systems and fire alarms to ensure they are operable and ready to use. Check your landscaping sprinkler systems too. Look for dripping water or dampness around waterline connections. Inspect property drainage and remove debris. Prevent drainage issues that can later cause severe water damage to your property in the form of a backup. Inspect vacant and unoccupied dwellings to prevent damages. Ensure internal temperatures stay between 65 and 75 degrees year-round to prevent excess humidity, microbial growth, and frozen pipes. You're also going to want to inspect for unwanted furry guests and other pests. Disasters don't wait, so make your plan today. They can happen anywhere and anytime. That's why Tri-State's available 24/7 to help turn your disaster into peace of mind. Just a few final points here. Do you have an emergency plan? Who are you calling? Does someone in your household or community have special considerations? Do you have young children, pets? Are you in a flood zone? Check out this website and for maryland.gov to find your zone to ensure you know whether or not you're in a flood zone. Consider the specific needs your property and residents might have in an emergency when making your plan. Create a community evacuation plan and post maps in each building so residents are aware of the process and meetup spots. Have emergency supply kits available. Designate emergency walking paths and driving routes to safely vacate areas and post signage so everyone's aware. Provide residents with an emergency phone list so that they're familiar with those that can offer support during an emergency. My pro tip here is to create a chat text list for notifications so everyone's on the same page. And don't forget your furry friends. Pet safety is part of this. Make sure walking paths are clear of debris and, if possible, provide pickup bags. Our four-legged friends are also, unfortunately, often the last priority for responding emergency service personnel during an emergency. So our pro tip here, if you have furry or feathery friends, invest in a special door or window cling right here. These are available on Amazon. They're fairly cheap. I think it was like 5 for $10. But you can have this on your window or your door so that when responding emergency personnel are arriving, they know that you have another member of your household that needs saving. All right, generators and air quality. Knowing ahead of time where you would run a generator can help prevent, unfortunately, deadly hazards. Generator exhaust is toxic and can sicken or kill you. Always put generators outside, well away from doors, windows, and vents. Never use a generator inside a home, basement, garage, crawl space, tent, shed, or any other indoor enclosed area. Carbon monoxide is deadly and can build up quickly and linger for hours. Again, let's make sure we're putting these emergency kits together. We need to have them in our homes, our offices, in our cars, something handy and easy to access so that we ensure we've got what we need when we need it. And for the property managers that we have on this call today, here's just 5 points here we want to make sure you guys are all addressing for your communities. How will my residents receive emergency alerts? How can my residents provide emergency alerts? You know, the whole adage, see something, say something. What is my community shelter plan? What is my community's evacuation route? And what is your business continuity plan? Our pro tip here, consider installing these emergency call boxes throughout your community so that in the event of an emergency, they have a direct access point to emergency personnel.
Wait. Thanks. Running late? Yeah, traffic was rough this morning. Crisis averted. No crisis, still traffic. What if there had been a lot of traffic? Everyone needs a backup plan. Just like every company needs a business continuity. What just happened? Could be a blackout. Completely unpredictable. Where did you get that? It's important to start your business continuity planning early. How long can you operate without core systems and processes? What if your entire network went down? No communications means no sales and lost customers. Isn't this thing working? Finally. Recovery's good, but 75% of companies without continuity plans fail within 3 years. Who's in charge during a disaster? Like a fire? Identifying teams and assigning tasks is essential. Everyone needs to know their responsibilities. What's going on? It could be a hurricane. Weather can badly damage your assets. Planning better prepares your company to recover from any disruption. Why are you getting wet? Not everyone's under the same umbrella. It's important to test, update, exercise the preparedness month. So can we share? No. A business continuity plan for one company won't fit another. That's why it's important for everyone to develop their own plans. Why are you wearing a mask? Don't forget to plan for the human element. Contingency planning should go beyond natural disasters. Plan for man-made threats too. Right. Hey, let me out. Will your continuity plan be in place when it matters most?
All right, so one last friendly reminder for you guys before we get into the fun part, the prizes. Daylight savings ends Sunday, November 2nd, 2025. Make sure we are testing and replacing our smoke alarm and CO2 detector batteries. Please and thank you. We all have responsibilities for our families, pets, neighborhoods, and communities. By taking steps now, you can be in control of both your safety and those you care about before, during, and after a disaster. Following proper mitigation standards after a leak, flood, fire, or trauma loss is reported is crucial to saving you time, money, and preventing unnecessary secondary property and structural loss. If you suspect water damage, mold growth, or any other property hazard, give us a call on our emergency services line 866-818-1949. And now we're going to open this up for questions. No worries, Scott. It was so good to see you. Thank you so much. If anybody has any questions, totally happy to answer those now. If not, we're gonna run through to the prizes while I let you guys work on the chat and the Q&A here. Let's look at Q&A. What about having a shortwave radio in case the cell towers are not working or there is an outage? That is an excellent idea. It's often not practical for everyone to have one, but it is fantastic if you can get your hands on a shortwave radio to ensure that you're able to stay in connection with everybody. That is a perfect idea. Thank you for bringing that up, Kevin. Yep, and documents, blankets, everybody knows exactly what to carry in their go bag. And please don't forget the pets. Yep, Kelly, exactly. All right. And again, let me know what you'd like me to discuss. Happy to present something that's a little bit more customized to this group. We generally talk about anything safety and property damage prevention. And with that ado, let's go for our grand prize. Let me get my random number generator and see who is going to be our winner today. Today you are taking home a disaster prep kit that we've put together and customized. It contains a 15-liter dry bag, a ham radio, hand crank radio with a flashlight, and it also has a USB-C plug so that you can also charge your phone. We are including a first aid kit, a hygiene kit, and some samples of our Benefect Decon 30. This is the leading chemical agent that we use on all of our job sites. So let's see here. I'm looking for number 30 today. Right. Sorry, guys, I just have to count. Okie dokie. And Miss Christy Stevens, congratulations. You are today's grand prize winner. I will reach out to you after the presentation today and see about how we are getting this go bag to you with all of these wonderful things to help keep you and your family safe when you need it most. Congratulations. We're getting a little confetti action going on here. Will you let me do it? You let me do the confetti the first time. There we go. Now, what everybody's been waiting for, share with me one thing you learned today for a chance to win a $5 Starbucks gift card. Awesome. You guys are some smart cookies. Make a plan for your home as well as your community. And don't forget to check your pets, hand crank radio. Fantastic, Amy. Install and regularly test fire alarms to help prevent property fires. Yup. Proper servicing of equipment is important. Disasters don't wait. Make your plans today. Perfect, Hillary. Keep an emergency kit. Very important to always be prepared. Have an emergency bag in your car for the unexpected. plan for the worst and hope for the best. I love that, Michelle. You know better than most. Have an emergency kit, set aside important documents, be prepared, and make sure family members know the plan, documents, and the ready. Really good job, guys. Very impressed. And I hope everybody was able to take home something today to use in their daily life to help keep them safe. We will see you all next month for the last coffee break of the year, October 29th. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your month. We'll see you in October for spooky season. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you so much.